Hi everyone! So I'm really excited today because I finally get to share my opinion with you guys about the American high school system. So in this video I will basically summarize everything that the American high school system includes and compare it to the Romanian one and give my final opinion about the two systems. Imagine my teachers from home watching this like, I advise you not to say anything bad about my work. So let's jump into facts.
The school system in America is really different from the one from home, and this mainly shows in its different history and budget. In the US, $1.3 trillion go to education at all levels, which is about 7.2% of the GDP.
That's almost 200 times what Romania spends on education, and it's really visible.
1. School buildings are newer and the equipment is more modern. And 2. The teachers have way higher salaries, so they are more motivated to teach us.
Here in Texas, the state is divided into so-called school districts.
Mine is BISD, which stands for Brownsville Independent School District. One district contains many different schools. For example, in BISD, there's Veterans Memorial Early College High School, which is the school I go to, Homer Hanna High School, James Pace High School, Lopez High School.
But not just high school. Middle school and elementaries fall under the same district.
Most of the laws regarding the school system come from the state, in my case Texas, and need to be obeyed by all schools. The payment of the teacher, however, is determined by the city, not the state nor the district. So, for example, a teacher down here in Brownsville actually can have a higher income than a teacher in Corpus Christi.
One thing I find appealing in the school system here is how organized it is.
First of all, the principal of the school is not a teacher like at home. They were former teachers, but they were taught management skills and how to operate a school. So they have a more objective view on how to run an institution.
There is this huge office in our school and every person has a task assigned to them.
There are counselors, assistant principals, bookkeepers, secretaries, people who work at the registration, at the front desk or the attendance department, and each of them follow the rules and know what to do or who to ask in any situation.
One thing I find really annoying about the school system here is how organized it is.
Gosh, with every little thing you have to go through a lot of paperwork, and for every little thing there's a seemingly unnecessary rule nobody can skip, not even once. I know that this is the greatest strength of the system, but me, coming from a country where 2 weeks before school starting, the government just says that in the new academic year in the elementaries, the main foreign language will be taught by non-elementary teachers, I am really annoyed by it.
What about the classes?
Well, as you probably know, in the US, you get to choose the subjects you would like to learn. However, the system has its own rules. There are subjects and classes you have to take in order to graduate. For example, you have to take and pass English every year so you will have the required credits. In math, the mandatory courses are 1 year of geometry, 2 years of algebra, and 1 year of pre-calculus. When it comes to sciences, you have to take each of them, biology, physics, and chemistry, at least at the regular level during your high school years.
That brings me to my next topic, which is the level of the offered courses.
In my school, you can take classes on 4 different levels. First, the regular class, which are the basics of the subject. These classes give you the least amount of credit. The second one is pre-AP or honors, which prepares you for the third level, the AP classes. These are the so-called advanced classes, which tend to be really challenging with homework every day and a hard exam at the end of the year. If you pass the exam, you get the AP credit, which is higher than the regular one. If you fail the class and you have to repeat it.
The fourth level explains why my high school is called an early college high school.
The dual enrollment classes are the classes held by teachers from Texas Southmost College. So if you pass those college level classes, you don't have to take them and pay for them in college. When it comes to choosing your schedule, usually there are 3 places for electives. Classes like yearbook, Mexican American Studies, European History. Or if you already have your fine arts credits, something like theater, music theory, art history, drawing, painting, choir, or band. You can even learn welding in our school. Isn't that amazing?
Sports are also counted in your schedule. That's why I have swimming first period. But if you don't want to join a sport, you can just take a regular PE class.
Your schedule is put together by your counselors after you hand in a choice slip that looks something like this one.
What you do is you fill it out and hope that your classes won't overlap.
How do you get your grades? The American year is divided into 6-week-long periods. Every 6 weeks you get an average, and at the next 6 weeks you get new grades. The teacher is required to give at least 3 test grades and 3 daily grades during 6 weeks. They submit the grades online and can't give grades for individuals only, so everybody in the class has the same number of grades.
By the way, you are graded from 0 to 100. 70 is the passing grade and anything above 90 is considered excellent.
What about tests and exams? Despite of not having an end of the high school exam as we at home have, or graduation exams, Americans still have a lot of tests to pass. The EOCs are the Texas state exams that you have to pass in order to get to the next year, and every year it's a different subject. The freshmen test in biology, the sophomores in algebra 2, juniors in US history, while seniors in English. The trickier part comes when you're preparing to go to college. The SAT and ACT tests are required for colleges. The more points you get, the bigger the chance of being accepted. Students also have to have the TSI exams if they would like to attend the college. Most of the tests Americans take are multiple choice ones, meaning that you just have to choose between the already given answers. This is a huge difference between the Romanian and the US system. However, there are teachers in the US, mostly math and English, who want you to write and show work. Where do your grades count? Your grades are important if you would like to go to college. They all add up to your GPA, which is a crucial factor in your higher education acceptance. Also, in high school, it determines your ranking, which is the list of students in the order of their grades, compared to the Romanian system. In Romania, we like to think that we work harder and our schools, despite not being so well equipped, teach better than the American schools.
But in my opinion, that's not entirely true.
While in Romania, you have to decide what you want to learn during your high school years once, the American system gives you the so-called American dream of opportunities. You have more space to move and experiment with yourself, but if you would like to learn a lot and study hard, you can do it by taking AP or dual enrollment classes.
I'm not gonna lie, the AP classes and exams are way harder than any class from home. And I know that just by looking at Leslie from the other corner of the room struggling with them.
For instance, her AP English exam is a killer with 3 different types of essays that have to be written in 2 hours. On the other hand though, if you don't have the ambition to learn hard, you can get through high school really easily without learning anything new. I would say that the difference between the two systems is the difference between the two cultures, America being a super individualistic, built on social Darwinism country, while Romania, because of its historical background, comes from a more stick-together, help-each-other society compared to the American, Republican, I want my choices mentality. The opinion.
I came outside because the lights are way better here. So now that I summarized the American high school system in a nutshell, I will give you my final opinion about it.
It's a great, well-functioning system where teachers get paid a reasonable amount, students have freedom, better conditions in school such as lunch and newer books, and also it's managed in a more professional way. But absolutely has its flaws and puts way too much responsibility on the students by trusting them to build their own schedule. It supports the individual more than the team spirit, not putting the students into stick-together classes, but at the same time prepares them more for life, demanding a lot of paperwork for college and provides better opportunities.
So overall, I wouldn't say that either of the two systems is better than the other, but they differ in main focus and idea, something that comes from social and historical difference. So, for those of you who don't know, we got a dog. His name is Bailey. Hi! And I think he will do the outro for you guys. So, you wanna come with me? I don't know if he wants to come. Oh, I think so. So, for some closing shots, here is where I live. This is my backyard. That's the Resaca. I will put some pictures of our new dog. It's really weird for me to have a dog. I never had an animal in my life before, so that's kind of a new experience too. So once again, if you liked it, just give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. I'm super interested in you guys' opinion, and just have a nice day. Bye. Where are you? Doggy. Ow! Don't eat my toes.